Good morning, everyone. My name is Maritza Rodriguez. I am the president of the Cleveland Public Library Board of Trustees. On behalf of my fellow trustees, welcome. Welcome to our staff, our director, our esteemed guests, our partners, and most importantly, our patrons. We're here to celebrate the grand opening of the reimagined Hough campus. Today is 5 years in the making. With each groundbreaking and grand reopening, I'd like to remind everyone where we started. In 2017, Clevelanders voted to pass a tax levy to support Cleveland Public Library. As part of that levy, we made a promise to revitalize our 27 branches to better serve the Cleveland community now and into the future. Today, we continue to fulfill our promise with a new Hough campus for the Midtown community. It is a 5-star building to match our 5-star staff, collection programs, and services. To our Hough campus neighbors and patrons, welcome back. This branch is for you. It was designed for you, your needs, and reflects the uniqueness of this neighborhood. And just to give a shout out to my friend Thomasina, here you are. You got a Hough branch. We're so happy to see you, everyone, today and to invite you to explore our new space. We hope you enjoyed today's celebration, and I invite you all back to see us often. Now, I'd like to invite my colleague on the board, Vice President John Hairston. Thank you, dear.
My President. Good morning. Every morning is a good morning when you wake up. That's my president right there. Okay. That lady has more energy, and she knows I'm getting old. She just drags me along, but it's all for good. Thank you very much for you guys coming out today. I'm going to attempt to do something that the director gave me to do, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work because I'm going to call some people's names that have had intimate relationships in building this building, and I'm going to miss somebody, and I'm going to walk out in the parking lot, and they're going to tell me, you missed me. And so I'm trying to find a way to do this gracefully, so just bear with me. I am very fond of a saying that says, a vision without a plan, without perseverance, without prayer, and without inclusion can turn into a nightmare rather than a dream that can turn into reality. We're standing here today for the simple reason that people in this room, starting with the administration under the direction of Mr. Felton Thomas, the elected board, or appointed board, and a number of all of you who have participated, especially my councilwoman right there, have participated in making this dream a reality rather than a nightmare. So I'm going to do categories. Everybody's standing so that even it makes me feel better. We have a number of partnerships. The partnership started with the Cleveland Public Library Board of Trustees. My colleague is here. Where is Tom Corrigan? He's on the board. Give him a hand, please. He's also the secretary of the board. We also have the Cleveland Public Library Foundation Board. Who's here to represent them? That's why I'm not calling any names. I knew that pretty soon Felton was going to have me running down the highway. Do we have any county council guests in there with us today? That's why I'm not calling any names, Felton. Okay. Good. We get along exceptionally well. I guess you can tell we're a real good family, only to serve what we try to do for the people of this community. We're going to hear from our councilwoman a little later. We also have to always recognize the library staff, and you'll hear more from them a little later, but those of you that are part of the library staff, please just hold your hands up. And please don't be shy. As hard as you guys have worked, when you see a staff that has worked like they worked during the pandemic, with a cut-in staff, and still been able to get these kinds of things done, give them another hand because they put over and above what they needed to do. We have the architect here from Moody Nolan. Am I correct? Hold your hand up so people recognize you. All right now. I had a lot of time to do a lot of work with the FAMICO organization when I used to be CDC chairperson of Glenville. Anyone represent the FAMICO today? Okay. We also have the chairman of the Baseball Heritage Museum at League Park. There he is back there. That in fact is a fantastic partnership, and thank you. I remember when you rebuild it from the ground up again, and it makes all kinds of sense to be a partner with the library. So thank you very much. We also have operations manager of Cleveland School of the Arts. Is that person present? And we also have the area coordinator for workforce development at Cuyahoga County Development Disabilities Center. That's why I'm doing it by category, you notice? So if you fit in the category, which everybody does here, you won't chase me in the parking lot, all right? Last but not least, let me just say this from the heart. I had an opportunity to work for the Cleveland schools for over 30 years. Part of my area that I was very fond of is this particular area. Addison, old Addison Junior High School and all that kind of stuff, Thomas Edison, and all the kind of education things were going. I see you shaking your head, so you know exactly what I'm about to say. The vision becomes a reality and not a nightmare because of the people in this community. This would not happen unless you participated in all the community meetings that we ask you to do. This is your library. It was designed based on your dreams and the direction of our director to staff to reimagine what libraries should look like and how they should serve the needs of the people locally and across the city of Cleveland. I want you to remember something. Many of us did not vote for a levy, but the percentage of people in this area that voted for a levy is what got us over. There was a promise made and a promise kept here today. And it's everybody's responsibility, the Board of Trustees, the director and his staff, and our partners, to make sure you got what you asked for. So I want to say, give yourself a hand for being a resident of Hough. Let me bring the director of the Cleveland Public Libraries to you, Mr. Felton Thomas.
First, let me start by saying that as I was thinking about what my notes might be, I started thinking about the former director, Mr. Andrew Venable. And Mr. Venable, when he would have a program like this, he would be so excited he would get up and sing the opening, right? He had this big, robust bass voice, and he would just get up. And I thought about that today, and I said, oh, no, that's not happening. I want everybody to stay. I was close, but I want everybody to stay. But what the legacy of Mr. Venable was, Mr. Venable came in a period for us as a library system in which he kind of moved the library more back in balance from the main and the branches. He said, we're going to go back out into the community, right? Unfortunately, he didn't have an opportunity to see us being able to come back in and touch all 27 of our branches and rebuild something just like we're doing here in the Hough community. But if he was here, he would be singing to the rafters around Hough. Hough. He said, we live neighborhood by neighborhood, and we are going to build a library in Hough. I was just fortunate enough to be here to make that happen, right? So for Mr. Venable, rest in peace. We are thankful for your leadership to bring back a focus on our communities and our neighborhoods. And so with that, I'm really proud to be able to bring up the Councilwoman Stephanie Hough, who represents the Hough neighborhood and who has done such a great deal just in a short period of time, because she's only been the councilwoman for a year. So she has been very helpful with this project, and I think she has something for us.
Well, good morning, everybody. How you doing? You know, we are the sunshine. You know, the weather always trying to mess us up. But again, we have this beautiful energy and this beautiful spirit for now this beautiful building that we are now will be known as the Hough Branch Library. We are really, really excited. I know the team has been very, very busy and really just looking forward to, the action that will happen day in and day out, not only for our children and families, but for community members all across the city. You know that our Ward 7 community is full of pride. Our Hough neighborhood is full of pride. And as we are growing, we are going to make sure that we hold on to our history and just be able to just share the love with everyone. And so on behalf of Cleveland City Council, it is my honor to welcome you all, to Hough. And, oh, what did I do? Okay. All right, that was some scissors. Okay, but since we have Mr. Felton here, come on up. No grand opening is official without a proclamation from Cleveland City Council. So it's my honor to welcome all of you to the Hough Branch Library and welcome you to the grand opening. Congratulations to the Cleveland Public Library team.
There's some other thank yous I want to do as I close my remarks, and that's, of course, to thank our folks at Fatima, who will be hosting the overflow when we have Nikki Giovanni here at 12 o'clock. We're really excited. It has been over 20 years since the last time we had Nikki Giovanni, so when Mr. Venable was here, so everything comes full circle at some point in time. I also want to thank the Greater Cleveland chapter of the National Congress of Black Women, who are partners in bringing Nikki Giovanni here. Our friends at Third Space Action Lab. If you see Third Space Action Lab, they're in the back there. They've got a whole slew of Nikki Giovanni books for us to be able to buy so we can get them signed. And Miss Giovanni we had a conversation with her. She is so nice. She was like, I will be here until the last person gets their book signed. Right? So we're just very fortunate to have her. And then lastly, I want to thank our friends with JAPO, right? We are very fortunate whenever we can have JAPO come and perform with us. And so thank you again for joining us. And I want to now turn it over to Oh, Gilbane. Well, we didn't thank Gilbane during that period of time. Come on up, John Lang. So, earlier I was looking at the thing, and when you work on a building, you have like so many folks who you're working with, and I was like, why isn't John Lang on this thing to talk to all of the contractors and everyone that we need to thank?
Thanks, Director. I was not trying to force my way to the microphone. I just wanted to make sure the construction team is recognized. So the director already recognized Moody Nolan, who was the design architect for the project. They had a whole host of consultants and engineers who work with them. Thanks very much to Jonathan Moody for making the trip from Columbus to be with us today, and Rob Donaldson, the project manager over the last year and a half. I'll mention that Moody Nolan is the Architect Institute of America's Firm of the Year for 2022. Proud Black-owned Ohio-based firm with a large Cleveland studio. We were really blessed to work with them. And then the building team was led by Gilbane Building Company, their Cleveland office. And I know Leo Torres is with us this morning. He was the superintendent of the project. Had its challenges for sure, but we were very proud of the building that we're presenting to the community today. We welcome you all here, and it's gratifying to see such a great turnout this morning. So thank you, everyone.
And lastly, we must bring up the manager of this building, Ms. Marcy Williams. Will you come up and introduce your staff to the community?
Thank you, Director. Welcome to the Hough campus, people. The director was just talking about our previous director, Mr. Venable, and he would always start our staff development day off with a song, "We welcome you here today." That's what he used to do. I don't know the rest of it. I just remember that part. But I find it, I've been here some time, and I find it an honor and a privilege to be the leader of this new campus. And with these great people in this Hough community. I do have a wonderful staff that I would like to introduce to you. First, we have Ms. Chambers. Raise your hand. Ms. Mason. Mr. Young. Mr. Barkis. Mr. Deneen. Mr. Olajide. I got that right. And we do have our SPS guard, Officer Mills, somewhere back there. He's probably patrolling the perimeter. And also, I have one staff member that could not be here today, Ms. Grace French. She's here. And as I speak for my staff and myself, we are excited to be back and in this building, and we look forward to continue being a service to this community. And to my staff, just from me to you, I thank you for your dedication. I thank you for your service to this community. I thank you for your thoughtful planning and tireless work to prepare to actually pack up the old branch while we were still serving the public and to come in here and unpack and get everything ready for this opening day. To our patrons and our neighbors, we missed you. I know these last 2 weeks felt like 2 months, but we are here for you. We thank you for your patience and your continued support. We would not be here without you. We hope you come back again and again and again and again and again. Thank you for everyone for coming out together today to make this happen for our Hough campus. And now I'm happy to say, Mr. Director, I think we're ready to be open for discovery.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you.
Got it. Bring him in. So I always have a tradition for any ribbon cutting. It just doesn't seem to be fair when you have just lots of adults up here. We're looking for the youngest child to come up and actually do the ribbon cutting.
Is that the youngest and the oldest?
Oh, I won't say that. He is my boss after all.
I'm messing with you, John.
Okay, hold on. One, three. 1, 2, 3.
I was messing with you. That was
I am a beautiful woman. Thank you. I gazed on the forest and burned out the Sahara Desert.